Hi everyone, my name is Serena.
Hi guys, my name is Elizabeth.
Hello, my name is Gabriel.
I just wanted to answer a few questions about my thoughts on racism in Ireland, but especially with everything that's happening in the world right now.
I would say that I am part Irish, because I've grown up here for 18 years and most of my memories are from Ireland, but I'd say when it comes down to it, I'd say I am more Kenyan than Irish just because of the fact that I've grown up in a house where, there are Kenyan values and Kenyan traditions, and so my parents did a good job of that. So yeah, I am Irish, but I'd say I'm more Kenyan than Irish.
I think it's great. It's great that I'm an Irish citizen by naturalization, and I'm also a Kenyan by birth. So it's great to be citizen in two countries.
So I've never previously thought about this question before. I think that if it were not for my passport that says I am Irish on it, I would find it quite difficult to fully identify myself as Irish. Even though I was raised here my entire life. If someone were to ask me where I'm from, and I'd say Ireland, it wouldn't be enough for them. So I don't really feel completely settled in either identities of Irish and Nigerian, because I feel more Irish in Nigeria than I do here, and I feel more Nigerian here than I do in Nigeria. So I'm quite stuck in between.
I have had, a few experiences on racism, but I remember one that really actually stood out for me was a few years ago. I was looking to move house, and I went to view one particular house in Balbriggan, and I remember there was several people viewing that house at the same time, but the estate agent who was showing us the house came to me, and she said to me, the house is available to rent, but the landlord will not rent it out to a black person. And that really baffled me, and I felt really, really bad, maybe shocked, but at the same time it made me feel really bad that someone could choose to discriminate against people of a particular race for just because of the color of their skin. I don't know what experiences they'd had with black people, but I felt really bad.
Well, unfortunately, I have had experience of racism in Ireland. I've been followed around numerous times in shops by security guards, and they probably thought I was planning on stealing an item. I've also been called the N-word by teenagers before.
Asking if I had any experiences with racism is like asking if I had a choice in the color of my skin. I've had many experiences with racism, and I feel like it'd be trivial to single out one. It's a cumulative effect of things like being constantly singled out for the color of my skin, being the last to be picked in sports, or being bullied for my hair, or the food that I eat. Saying I'm Irish and nobody believes me, or being called racial slurs on the street and suddenly everybody's deaf, and I'm left to deal with the aftermath. It's the pool of all these things that wears me down.
So basically, to fight with us, you need to try and understand us. This issue can't be swept under the rug anymore. We can't really pretend it's not a problem, because it really is. We can't be worried about feeling uncomfortable. We need to have that confidence to bring up racism. We need to have direct and sincere dialogue about it so that we can share our stories together, and then hopefully test our assumptions and change the behaviors that stop us from being true allies. Shying away from this conversation will only leave more people ignorant about it. I think if you can approach it with a sense of openness and learning, you can play a big role in advocating for change. And at the very least, we will definitely come to understand each other on a much better level.
An ally is somebody who fights for me, who supports me, who sticks up for me when I'm not even there. Church, in order to do that, we all need to be educated on systemic inequalities and disparities between races. We need to be able to ask uncomfortable questions and be prepared to receive uncomfortable answers. If we want change, it starts with conversation, open and honest dialogue, and creating a safe space in church to speak about race like we speak about the weather. We all have an input in it, and we need your help. We need your help. We can't do it alone.
I do not think we have racism in church whatsoever. I think everybody feels welcome. Everybody that walks through that door, no matter where they come from, what race or what color skin they have, everybody feels welcome. And I would hope I'm not the only one that feels that way. I feel everybody is included and everybody is loved and everybody feels welcome in the church. So yeah, I think the church is doing enough, and thank you very much for that.
I think it would be great to interact more with people of color and come to an understanding that not all Black people fit into the typical stereotype of a Black person, which would be us getting involved in crimes and involved in gangs.
I wouldn't say that my faith has changed my views on race, only I would say that it's cemented what I already believe, and that's the fact that we are all the same in the eyes of God, regardless of where you come from. So if he's going to judge us the exact same on our final day, then what gives me or anybody else the right to judge anybody else differently based on where they come from or what they believe in?
100%. Knowing that I was made in the image of God, knowing that I was made beautifully and wonderfully by the creator of the entire universe, lets me know that even with all of my imperfections, even with all of my flaws, even with my color and my race and my background, I am still a child of God. And he sees me. And he loves me. And as the church, we need to love others who are different from us, like Christ did. And love is fighting for those who are living in injustice.